Hey, I'm Darian, and welcome to Best of. Today, we are going to talk about the best or the top 25 albums of the decade, which was from 2010 to 2019. Now, rules before I start this, because I don't want to hear anything. One, this is subjective. As subjective as subjective could possibly be. There's going to be a lot of people that you're going to see, like J. Cole or Katy Perry or Ariana Grande, who are just not on this list. And it's not that I don't like their music, it's just, well, I don't listen to it. Or as much to grade it. So, everyone you see on this list, I have listened to, I still do listen to, and every album that you see here is a favorite of mine. It might be of yours too, or it might not be. It doesn't matter. You can tell me what albums you listen to in the comments. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get started with the list. At number 25, we have The Ooze by King Krule. Sort of a post-grunge, sort of a rock, sort of a jazz. It's a beautiful mixture of all of it, and King Krule, he blends it perfectly. Great album, I really enjoy it. At number 24, we have Lemonade by Beyonce. If you know Beyonce, you know this album. A good R&B album that infuses a little trap and, you know, a little bit kind of alternative. It's a really good album, really good features. Love this by Beyonce. At number 23, we have Oxnard by Mr. Anderson .Paak. He's a West Coast producer, West Coast drummer, West Coast vocalist. He does it all, and he gives a very gritty album. 2018 was a really good year for him, and I think this kind of solidifies how good of a year it was for him, with this being the last track in his year. Great production, love this album. At number 22, we have Anti by Rihanna. Great summer R&B album. Although I don't enjoy her singing on a lot of the songs. Well, okay, I enjoy it, but I don't love it. It's still a great album. A lot of impactful vocals on it, a lot of good features, and overall has a great vibe. Angles by The Strokes, my favorite band, in 2011. They released one of their third to the latest album, and this was made in 2011. This is one of the first albums I've heard by them. This was experimenting with all of their synths and just giving a more like modern take on their rock, and it's a great album. Love it. And at number 20, Hot Take, but Cause I Love You by Lizzo. Great album. I love the vocals. I love how grand it is. I love the opening song of it. Great R&B and pop elements throughout the whole album. Really enjoyed this one. At number 19, we have When I Get Home by Solange. I know A Seat at the Table is her more popular one, but I think this is more of a synth, more of a jazzy feel to it, and I enjoy that over the neo soul. So yeah, definitely Solange's best work. Number 18, we have Coloring Book. Coloring Book by Chance the Rapper. Great album, great gospel influences, zany production, zany vocals by him. It's an overall good album about addiction and living in Christ. Number 17, we have Choose Your Weapon by Hiatus, Kayote. Great band from Australia that a friend put me on. The production across this whole album is just amazing. It's a good listen from start to finish. Highly recommend if you want to experiment with new sounds, or if you just want to, listen to something that you haven't really heard an album like this before. For 16, we have Apricot Princess by Rex Orange County. Kind of a bedroom pop-ish, but in a more grand sense. You can tell that he took his time with this album. A lot of jazzy influences, and also a lot of alternative and kind of teen rock. So yeah, it's a great pick from Rex Orange County. Love the guy, never met him, but love the guy, love the music. And at number 15, we have Care For Me by Saba. This is his second commercial project. Great jazz rap. Talks about a lot of important things, from him growing up in Chicago to his friends and his personal struggles with social media and his family. And it's a great album. Definitely love the feel of it. Definitely love the vibe of it and the overall concept of the album. At number 14, we have Saturation 2 of the Saturation trilogy. All of these Saturations were dropped in the same year, which, if you listen to the music, is really impressive to see. But yeah, Brockhampton is a group, more than 15, 20 people, and they all have different genres and different elements about them that they like, and they just combine it into this kind of rap, but kind of like heavy punk and heavy rock. It's a great experience. Love Saturation 2. It's my favorite of the three, and yeah, great record. Number 13, this might be a hot take, but When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go by Billie Eilish in 2019. Great alternative record. I think it's very solid. I love the production. I love her vocal inflections across the whole album. I think this is kind of a great take on post-alternative. Great pop songs too. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole record from finish to start to finish. Wow. Number 12, we have Awaken My Love by Childish Gambino. Love this album. Love it. Awaken My Love is essentially a funky, kind of, I guess, rock, but kind of soul. It's all of these fusions. Donald Glover has brought it back to life in an amazing album. It's a great listen. If you are into like Bootsy Collins or Stevie Wonder, I recommend this album a lot. At number 11, we have Channel Orange by Frank Ocean. One of the greatest R&B albums in my opinion. I love it from start to finish. I love all the songwriting. His songwriting is amazing. I love the production. I listen to this album all the time, every year. If you've heard Thinking About You, I'm not going to sing it because I can't sing. Then I think you know this album. If you haven't heard this album directly, you've heard something of it, or you've heard maybe a single from it. But yeah, it's definitely a great album that you should check out. At number 10, we have Flower Boy by Tyler, the Creator. A kind of a jazz, neo-soul rap album about Tyler coming into his sexuality and talking about his friends. It's definitely a great album. It brought up a whole aesthetic. It's really good. It's a really good album, and there's not really much to dislike about this album. I feel like it doesn't matter what genre you listen to. I think you could like this album. At number 9, we have Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City. This is by Kendrick Lamar, who's basically indulging in a theory about a good kid and a mad city. Basically putting a good kid in a kind of disruptive environment and how that plays a role in their life way after they grow out of that environment. Great album, great concept, great features, classic album. Enjoy it, and I know you would too if you listen to it. At number 8, we have Some Rap Songs by Earl Sweatshirt. Do not get misled by the title. This isn't just some rap songs. This is actually a collection of tracks that fit a whole concept. The detail in it is amazing, and once you read about the album and kind of understand why he put this or why he did this, it's kind of a fascinating album, and it really makes you appreciate, artists and how they make music. So Some Rap Songs, definitely a strong pick, high up in my list. Love this, love the samples, love it. At number 7, we have Control by SZA from Top Dog label. Great R&B album. I think this is the future of R&B. A lot of cloud rap, a lot of trap in it. It's great, good features, good messages. Feels like you're just reading SZA's diary, and it's really great, and a lot of the tracks are heartfelt, so appreciate it for that. At number 6, we have The Money Heist by Death Grips. Definitely an acquired taste. I wouldn't recommend this album to everyone, but if you kind of like the more of a disruptive, noise, industrial type of rap album, I think you'll thoroughly enjoy this. It definitely takes a couple listens to kind of get into, but once you get into it, This album is very addictive and very easy to love. So number 5 we have Kids See Ghost, self-titled, which is a duo between Kanye and Kid Cudi, and in this they're breaking down their mental health and the aspects of that, and they bring it up as some type of superpower, which is interesting to see them do that. And I think that this album is kind of like therapy to them. It's a lot of freedom, and it's a lot of sorrow, it's a lot of grief, and it's a lot of pain. But overall, I think the album perfectly encompasses how they feel, and it's a very strong record, and I love it. At number 4, we have Blonde, which is also from Frank Ocean. This is more of his pop side, where he, kind of dives into more of a pop influence. Great tracks on these. We have Nice, we have Solo, Pink and White. I love this album. Definitely a great album, objectively and subjectively one of the best albums of the decade. You should definitely check this one out. At number 3, we have Igor. Really great album. One of my most listened to albums, probably of all time. This is by Tyler, the Creator, by the way, twice. And this is Igor. Igor is his character who is essentially feels like a monster, because Igor's Frankenstein's monster. But basically Igor is set through emotions and put in all the stages of love, from heartbreak to falling in love to feeling resentment to feeling jealous. It encompasses all of it. The production is amazing and the samples are great on it. This is definitely Tyler, the Creator's best work in my opinion. At number 2, we have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy from Kanye West, after his magnum opus from Walking In on Taylor Swift and that whole scandal. He took a hiatus and he took a break to get things together, and he created an album that encompasses his kind of his deepest, darkest fantasies, his motives, how he views life now, and it's truly a haunting and a very honest album, and I appreciate that from Kanye. And I also think it's one of the grandest and the most complete work that he's ever put out. So yeah, number 2, love this album. And at number 1, we have To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. Love this album. Very important album. This is kind of an album where I would suggest you to kind of really listen to it. Get headphones, go in a quiet place and just actually kind of just listen to what he's saying and just take it in, because I really think that the message in this album is truly powerful. There's tracks like Alright, which was rated the best song of the decade. There's Complexion, there's so many good songs on it. This follows a poem that Kendrick Lamar wrote to You're Gonna Have to Figure Out until if you actually look at the album. But it's a great message, very powerful, jazzy influences. I love the production, I love the songwriting, I love the flow, I love everything about this album. And yes, these are the top 25 albums of the decade. I hope I didn't take too much time. I know I stuttered, it's okay. Yes. Thank you. Hey, those albums suck. Really? Number 1, you have To Pimp a Butterfly? It's not even that good of a record. Who even cares about concepts? Why is there no Drake, no Travis Scott, no Post Malone, no Katy Perry, no Taylor Swift? I hate this list. This list sucks. I don't really care. I really don't care at all. Like I said, it's personal opinion. You don't have to agree with it. Yeah, I don't care. And Travis Scott, why would I put Travis? He hasn't even. I'll see you guys later.